All righty. Bear with me while I pull up the script. I can't get into my drive to pull. I was wondering where it disappeared to because I had it open, and for some reason now it's saying I'm not connected to the Towns thing. So luckily I had the wherewithal to upload it to my Remarkable reader. So I am just trying to pull it out. Here we go. All righty. We are using Zoom for this meeting, which allows for the public to participate in the meeting as an attendee. The chair can request that members of the public provide their names for purpose of keeping accurate minutes of the meeting. The chair will call on those who have raised their hands in the order they were raised. All questions should be directed through the chair. As a preliminary matter, this is Chantal Blythe-Murphy, supporting staff, Director of Culture and Tourism. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Emma Young?
Here.
Michael Kopko?
In the affirmative.
Tony Wagner?
Here.
Awesome. And Sarah Ellis. Oh my God, I just totally brain farted on your name. Sarah Ellis?
Here.
I'm like looking at your face like you know her name. What are you doing, brain? Thank you. And staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Chantal Blythe-Murphy, I am here, and we have no anticipated speakers on this agenda. Bear with me, it's pretty long. All right, so good afternoon. This open meeting of the Nantucket Cultural Council is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, NCC is convening by video conference via the Zoom app as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer. Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless the chair notes otherwise. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce any speakers on the agenda, which we have none. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Last page. Please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage in a conversation with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. For items with a public comment, after members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in the meeting will be conducted by roll call. And I yield the floor to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Chantal. Okay. Thank you all for coming together. Hopefully our last meeting before a little break. So first thing is to just approve the minutes. I don't think we approved the April. So we have April 11th minutes and May 16th minutes. Does anyone have any? Yeah.
Emma, if you don't mind. So you guys did approve the April minutes in the last meeting that you had in May that I wasn't in attendance. However, at that meeting, while we had a quorum for that meeting, the people who attended the May meeting, not all of the April meeting attendees were there. So technically, if you weren't there, you couldn't vote on it, but folks voted on it. So this is really just a formality to make sure that we're in compliance to redo it. And let me just make sure that we actually have a quorum for that April meeting right now. And if we don't, we'll just have to push it to our next meeting for that approval, which is also perfectly fine. So April meeting, we had Ava, Emma, Michael, and Tony. So we actually don't have one because we need 4 of you.
Okay. So we'll push that to a next meeting. But can we go ahead and do the May minutes? Do we have to
That
wait till the April ones are done?
Oh, no. You can approve May and if someone makes a motion, when you make the motion to do the motion to include the to approve the May minutes and move April to the next meeting.
Okay, and we have everyone here was at the May meeting, I believe.
All except Tony was not there, so you guys you don't have a quorum either, so you might as well just
Okay.
push it all.
So we need a motion to just push those on to the next agenda.
So moved.
Sarah, you're muted, but I think you seconded.
Second. Excuse
Thank
me.
you. Okay, excellent. Okay, so we had our reception and everyone was there. It was really great. Does anyone want to talk a little bit about that?
I loved meeting the woman from the Cape Verdean project. She was wonderful. Barbara, I think was her name. And she was just so enthusiastic and had made a day of it. And it was just really encouraging to see somebody who was so completely floored by the support she'd gotten from all the different communities. We were just one of several, but it was a wonderful event. And Chantal, you did an amazing job. And thank you to Remain as well, because I've given the name of that caterer to like 4 people already, because I thought they did such a good job. And Michael, the space was just perfect. I can't think of a single thing that wasn't, it was just a wonderful, I'm not much of a event person, and I thought it was just so much fun. It was really very true to who we are all are as a committee. That's all.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. Catering was outstanding. All of it was just outstanding. And Chantal, I've run out of superlatives to say what Chantal did on the event. It exceeded all of my expectations in terms of just the classiness of the event. It was a beautiful day. We love having people in the space, so it just was outstanding.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can use that as kind of a guiding point for future years. I think it was really great to finally get to thank everyone for utilizing the grants and let people kind of mingle with each other and find out, what the other projects were and things. And after like 3 or 4 years of planning, I'm glad that we pulled it off. Chantal, we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you again.
Thank you guys. I mean, you guys laid the groundwork for what it ended up being. So all I did was follow your instructions. So thank you for making it easy.
Well, I want to add that Chantal was there early and the next day and did a lot of physical work setting up and breaking down. So just want to make sure people understand that.
Thank you,
I
Chantal.
wanted to make sure I returned your space exactly how I found it. So thank you for allowing us access. It couldn't, I mean, what a great space. I hope that more people show up and use it for private events and come to all the shows. It was very inspiring being in there, especially earlier when all the kids were there practicing as well. That I was like, oh my God, I want to be here all the time.
No, it's magical. And it was really, I don't know, I agree with Michael about Chantal, but about superlatives in general. It's like, it was just, I don't know. It just made me think, why do I miss events? This is so fabulous. And then I just recently went to one and I was reminded of how unfabulous they can be. So
Oh no.
it really was, it was beautiful. Thank you.
Excuse me. So next we have, we had talked about this before, but the direct granting process versus the reimbursement granting. So right now we do the reimbursement process where we say, okay, you got this award, do your project, spend your money, and then we will reimburse you for your expenses. And it sounds like the Mass Cultural Council is kind of slowly getting councils over to the direct grant process. It was really nice to hear from a bunch of you last time in saying that that's how many other grants are. So that's something I think we need to make a decision by August on whether we want to do that for the next round, which will open in the fall. So I don't know if anyone has input on that.
Well, I got the sense in our last meeting, or whenever we discussed it previously, that pretty much everybody was on board with that idea. I don't remember anyone having any strong objection to it. Certainly as a grantee, it's very helpful for grantees to get their money up front. And then, when we end up chasing people, it's just for paperwork and not, please file a form so we can give you your money. So
Yeah.
I think that's, are we in a position to make that decision today?
I think if we vote on it, we have to chat with the finance director and make sure that the finance department of the town is okay with that. But Chantal, I think you have more details on that.
Yes. So the general consensus because I went back and watched last month's meeting just to make sure, in case you guys had any questions. The reason I put it back on here is because for us to move to that, you do have to make an official motion about your decision for it to go into effect. I did talk to finance and they're perfectly fine with it. Basically, we just have to tell them what we want to do. And I talked to Mass Cultural Council about what the switch looks like, and it's literally clicking a button. So it's going to be really simple all around for us to make the transition if you guys decide to make that decision.
And then so on our part, it would be like when we make the decisions in like December, January, that's when we would ask the finance department to write the check.
Mm-hmm. So I just went through this process for cultural district. So it becomes a contract between essentially through the town and the recipient.
Okay.
They sign it, town manager would sign it, finance director would sign it, and then my office, like we've been doing for the reimbursements, then we would do the PO and all that good stuff in Munis, which is our finance program, and then the checks get issued.
Okay, and
So
I know like many of the organizations, if they've received it before, like there's already a W-9 on file.
Mm-hmm.
So would we as a council really have to do much more?
It's more work for my office, less work for you guys, but by more work, it means I probably spend, 2 hours putting together the contracts.
Okay.
And I can say that the Mass Cultural Council, this is the way they work. Basically, when they offer you a grant, they just send you a contract. You sign the contract with them. And if you need to get them a W-9, you do that, and then they send you the check. It works really well.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Kind of the back end of it.
And if we make the decision now, we can tell people in the next round that this is how the grants will be administered. They'll be given the grant ahead of time. Which is a nice thing to be able to say.
Yeah, and that can make it easier if they need funding up front.
Well, I'm happy to make a motion to that effect if the chair will allow. I would move that the Nantucket Cultural Council shift to a pay upfront model of granting, and ask and authorize Chantal to do whatever is necessary to make that happen.
I
Second.
second that motion.
Yay.
Great. And anyone opposed?
Let's take a roll call vote on this one, since I heard Chantal mention that in the script at the beginning of the meeting, and just to be
Sure.
suspenders.
Okay. Michael,
Aye.
Sarah,
Aye.
Tony,
Aye.
and then do I do it? Do I vote too?
Yes, you do.
Emma,
Yes.
aye.
I know it feels a little odd, doesn't it?
Excellent. Approved by all present. That's great. I think that'll be really helpful. Okay, and then we want to look at our meeting schedule for the fall. Is everyone still comfortable taking July and August off?
Yes. I would suggest that we come up with a date or two in September, offer those to everyone, and then discuss the fuller schedule at that meeting so that everybody's here.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. Now I'm trying to remember, I think in the past, the grant cycle opens, excuse me, early October. So it would be good to get at least one meeting in just to kind of check back in and be prepared. And then work on some, publicizing that date. So I think if we can meet in at least once in September, that would be great. Does anyone have, probably like towards the later end, just to get past like Labor Day, but does anyone have specific times that they're not going to be able to join in, or big projects that might be conflicting?
The 19th is a terrible day.
Okay. Are we comfortable with, we've been doing Tuesdays at 4? Is that still comfortable?
That's great for me personally. I just have that day with a number of various appointments, and this is one of them that I know comes up from month to month. So personally, it's great.
Okay.
Yep.
How do we feel about the 12th?
Sounds good.
So we can pen that into the calendars, and then we'll check in when it gets sooner and just make sure that everyone can, or that enough people can join in.
Yeah, we should probably get that date out to everybody who's not here too at this point.
Yeah.
Emma,
Yes.
would you guys be able to do a 4:30 on that day instead of a 4? Just because I have something that goes till 4:15.
I have a 5 o'clock on Tuesdays, but I could do a different day of
Should
the
we-
week.
Should we look at the 19th? Possibly.
Tony said 19th.
Tony
is
can't do the
out.
19th.
Oh, sorry. Tony just said that. Excuse me. All right.
We could also move to the 26th, or are other weekdays okay for people?
Yeah.
Sarah, how about you?
Could do a Thursday. I don't know how that works for people.
Okay, what about Thursday the 14th at 4?
Looks good.
Any oppositions? And would 4 work for you on that day, Chantal?
Yes, definitely. I don't know why I scheduled something on a Tuesday afternoon
Oh.
at that time. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. It's also like 3 months away. So, okay, so let's plan on that. And I'll send a reminder to everyone after, and then we'll do and Chantal, do you remember how long the Zoom has been extended for?
For a while, I think 2025, something like that. We're good for a while.
Okay, great.
I've never been to an in-person cultural council meeting.
Oh,
3 years.
yeah,
Wow.
that is wild. We'll have to
I
have
think
more parties, I guess.
in September as well, we'll be having, we'll have hopefully more culture, the seats filled that are open now.
Yeah, that
And
would be
I've,
great.
you got one person that reached out to you, and I had Charity Grace actually reach out to me about it today.
Oh,
So
awesome.
hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But if you guys know people that are interested, we do have 2 open seats.
And along the same lines, I just wanted to say, I don't know if, I know Chantal brought it up briefly at the reception, but Justin has stepped down because he had passed his 6-year terms of service. So he's not going to be on the council with us anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, we have Jordana's seat and Justin's seat, and then, I mean, I think we could add, if more people were interested, I think we could always ask for more. Great. Is there any other items, anything else we feel like we want to wrap up, or any questions?
No.
I think too, going forward, like, it was really great to meet once a month this year. That was kind of the first time we managed to do that. And I think we got a lot done, but I don't think that always has to be the story. So hopefully, you guys are comfortable and not feeling like we're putting in too much work on this. But it was really, really helpful for me, kind of with the transition over with Jordana leaving, because she had done so much to just meet more frequently and be supported by everyone. So I really appreciate everyone showing up and being consistent and caring about this.
Well, if we're gonna have an annual event like the one we just had, then I think meeting monthly is a good idea. It took us 3 years to get this one together.
Yeah.
I'd say I'd rather have 10, 20-minute meetings than 2 5-hour meetings any day.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think that's all I got. Just yeah, tell your friends, tell your other organizations that, and if I find out, if Chantal and I find out if they announce when the grants open, I'll try to send that out too. Do you all get the emails from Mass Cultural?
Yep.
Yeah, so hopefully they'll be sending that out to us, so we'll know, and then we can start spreading the good word.
Yeah, money up front. I honestly think it'll, people get so confused if they're new to this process that it's actually going to be an incentive and we're going to have more applicants, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe more members, more applicants. We're just going to get huge, too big for our britches.
Everyone's going to want to come to our great party too.
See if we can
They
get some
will.
money in the pot too. I don't think we're
Yeah.
gonna have 20 grand in the pot again for a while.
Yeah.
The council can technically fundraise even though you're under the town. So if we ever got in the business of putting on events, that's always something we can look at. Maybe not charging people, but sponsorships from other businesses and whatnot might be a great way to add some funds to the kitty.
Yeah.
Well, and especially because we're sort of this covert operation, as you all know. I mean, I was on the Arts Council years ago, and people always assume that we are the Arts Council. At least that's been in conversation. They're like, "Oh yeah, I know the Arts Council." I'm like, "No, we're a separate entity. We're our own people." So even if we had an event simply to do a little bit of fundraising and also some publicizing of, just to continue after the success of the last one, even if it was a meet and greet. I have a beautiful yard. I'm happy to offer that right near Five Corners, and I have a big garden, and we could do something very impromptu seeming, but just to sort of glad hand and, get people interested in all your various organizations might be a good thing.
And
Yeah.
also, we can get grants from other places to our fund for us to then disperse. And it was great to see Margaretta Andrews at the event.
Yes.
But the community foundation, Remain, the golf club, and other granting organizations can make general grants to our fund for us to then disperse to cultural organizations. So that'd be a nice way to beef up the pot a little bit too. I don't know if anybody's connected to any of those places, but
Sounds good.
Yeah,
All
I really
right.
like that idea.
have a good summer.
Have a great school's out for summer, guys.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody.
I would move adjournment.
Second.
Anyone opposed?
See you all
Thank
later.
you, everyone.
Everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.